Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats. Talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. This some weeding now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Penny Bloom Podcast. It is I, Colton Robertson, and this is the penultimate episode of the Mandalorian Rewatch. That is Star Wars: The Mandalorian: The Watchmen. As always, I am joined by Joseph George. What's up, buddy?
What up, what up? Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We've also got Miles Buttress. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am swell, and on the screen below me that I can see and you cannot, KBZ, Tyler Barnett.
Let's go. Let's get into it.
Let's fucking go. So today we've got Season 2, Chapter 15, The Believer. This is directed by Rick Famuyiwa, written by Rick Famuyiwa. So this is one of those rare ones, again, where it's not written by Jon Favreau, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'd say he did a pretty good job.
I'd say it was pretty good, and I think it's interesting. You can tell that he's got some connections to other things that he's made for The Mandalorian. Like later on when they're all on the pirate chase on the Rhydonium, he also directed the episode where the Mandalorian is climbing up the sandcrawler. So he likes the high speed.
Yeah.
You know.
I like him, man. I like that.
Oh, dude, great.
Which
director.
is funny.
Phenomenal.
Because you know what I said about the sandcrawler sequence? Do you guys remember what I said it reminded me of?
Indiana Jones, maybe?
Yeah, which makes total sense given George Lucas's history. But that's exactly what I put in my notes for that exact scene you're talking about, which is so funny that he has circled back to that twice now.
Massive
and I fucking love it.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's the best. So, shall we jump right into this scene by scene breakdown?
No, I don't really think so. Not today.
You're not ready? All right, I'll give you a second.
Nah, absolutely. Let's fucking ride.
Let's ride. All right. So we open on a scrapyard, looking a lot like some Imperial equipment. We got some ties and some altered Imperial Walker tech digging through it and stuff. And the camera pans down over some prisoners doing some labor, where a New Republic droid makes its way over to Mayfeld. And you're like, oh fuck, Bill Burr back in Star Wars immediately.
Dude, so happy. So happy.
Dude, he's such a great character.
Wonderful in this, dude. He fits perfectly in Star Wars. So, Mayfeld descends from the work he's doing and is instructed to follow Marshal Dune. And Cara approaches and is like, I'm going to remand prisoner, whatever, into my custody. And Mayfeld's like, yo, what the fuck? Where are you taking me? What are we doing? What's going on? And, the droid's like, yo, fucking move it. All right. And he's like, no, where are you taking me? His ankle monitor pops off and he keeps trying to question it. And the New Republic droid's like, yo, follow Cara or you will get zapped. 3, 2. And he's like, all right, fine.
It's common courtesy to tell someone where they're going.
I don't disagree. I mean, like, this is a little fuck shit.
Like, she could have just told him, like, we're just going to this planet. Like, could have been.
Yeah, just kind of, like,
but,
calm him down a second. But,
Dude, he would never say yes to that. He would obviously prefer to beat the shit out of some rocks than go to fucking put his life on the goddamn line. Like, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
like,
also, it's literally just that character. Even had she said, oh, well, he goes, well, tell me where we're going. And she told him, he solely goes, I don't want to go there.
Yeah, dude,
he's literally just not going to want to do what they say.
Yeah, he's literally just so fucking lazy. At least when he has to answer to other people, it's like it's low maintenance. Like, he's just swinging a fucking axe all day or whatever the fuck he's doing. But, like, now he's actually got to, like, take orders and listen to shit. Like, fuck that. I mean, fuck it. I admire the laziness. I admire it.
Pull over and park the car. I'm not going fucking anywhere.
Yo, have you guys... Okay, this is super off topic, but I'm assuming we're going to cut almost 98% of this out, which I'm totally fine with. Have you guys seen the commercial with Chris Evans and that lady from SNL? And they're, like, pretending to be from Boston. And he's got smart pock. He's got smart pock.
Yes.
He's parking the car. Smart pack.
Smart
Oh,
pack.
you never heard of smart pack? Fucking love that shit. Anyway.
But yeah, so, Mayfeld follows Dune over to the Slave One, and they run into a Boba Fett in some freshly painted armor, bro. This shit was pimp as hell. It was
So
the first
clean.
perfectly clean look at Boba Fett we've ever gotten.
Oh, absolutely. I was just getting ready to say this because think about when we've seen him at his, like, I guess when we were typically used to seeing him, that armor is already so beaten up. Like, it's pretty worn when we see it. And that old, just like, that's so old. Like, that was like, what, when did 6 come out? What?
77.
Yeah, I mean.
83.
Yeah, I was going to say, whoa. I was like, but yeah, that's like, I mean, that camera technology and just the costume work is not even close to on par with what we get today. So seeing him this fucking clean was like, life, bro, like, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I think there's like an aftermarket Mandalorian like armor paint shop, like kind of like a car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like-
there has to be.
service.
He go somewhere about that shit.
Bro, he took that bitch into Los Santos Customs. Don't get me twisted.
I really enjoyed though, like that he repainted it and everything, and like kind of removed some of the dings and stuff, but he still left the like iconic ding in the forehead.
Yes.
Love that.
Loved it. Well, you can't get rid of it, That's there to stay. And he's standing there along with Fennec Shand, and Mayfeld says, for a second I thought you were this other guy to Boba, and then enter the other guy. And
Dude, I can just imagine in Mayfeld's head, he's like, there's fucking 2 of these fuckers now? Oh my god.
I hope he makes a return for this next episode, like Bill Burr, just that way he can see both of them fighting together and just like fucking shit up. That'd be so funny, because he'd be like,
yo,
well, fuck me.
have you all seen like the Justice League or Watchmen stuff directed by Zack Snyder?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of his work, but I would love to see a style of scene with like the slow motion action with Boba and Din like working together, just like firing fucking whistling birds and shit. It would be fucking amazing to see.
Oh,
outstanding.
Okay, here's to just go off onto that. I don't think we get Mayfeld again. I just don't think he fits.
I don't either.
But I feel like the only way, and mind you, this is like straw hat, tinfoil, like this is like full on like fucking spaghetti people theory right here.
Mean, Kyler, we're about to get to the finale. The last half of this episode is just going to be full of us with spaghetti monster theories of what happened.
I'm fucking letting this bitch fly. If we get Mayfeld at all, 100% getting clapped. 100%.
Oh,
that man is toast.
He is
because
dead.
he just got freedom. What would be the logical thing to happen? Him fucking die. It only makes sense that if we see him again, that he is dead. At least in this next episode, like this season, he is 100% clapped. That man is fucking, his grave is being dug right now if he's appearing in next episode.
And that's exactly what he was concerned with seeing Mando. He's like, all right, so you came here to kill me then.
Imagine being that petty. Like, let me go pull your ass out of jail so I can just fucking
murder you
real
right
quick.
here on the spot.
Like,
bro.
throwing you into jail for life was not enough for me. You did not suffer enough. I must personally shoot the fuck out of you now. Like, that's the only way.
I wanted you to think that you were alive. Just for a little bit. Just so I could take what little you had left away.
Fuck.
Cara Dune tells him that she had to bend a lot of rules to get him here. So, the only reason that we even did any of this is because he was once Imperial. And Mayfeld begins to defend himself. He's like, yo, that was a long time ago. I don't owe you any explanations. And Din says, but you still know your Imperial clearances and protocols, correct? And they all agree in silence, and they make their way onto the Slave One, and Mayfeld takes one last look at this beautiful scrapyard he's been working on.
I would never look back, honestly. Like, if I'm getting a trip, even though it's something he's not liking right now, I'd be like, I'm kind of down just to take a ride.
Yo, when we return from this, from the title card here, we get to see the inside of the Slave One, and I've always been interested in how this worked because I knew he wasn't always just laying there, when he was shot.
Bro, I thought the chairs rotated.
So did I didn't realize the whole fucking hole rotated, the whole fucking thing. Like, everybody in there is safe. They're just like chilling while the ship rotates around them. It's fucking wild.
That was pretty cool.
What? Wait, okay. y'all are gonna have to hold on, and maybe I'm just a fucking idiot, but I did not even notice that at all.
Kyler, you're not alone. You're not
When
alone.
you rewatch,
Really?
and they're all sitting in the hole, you will see the walls behind them moving, just rotating behind them. And I did not notice it on my first watch. I only noticed it on my second.
Yeah, we're talking about some like haunted mansion, like stretching room shit. Like I don't know if y'all know Disney, but like, that's fucking wild.
It's the most evident scene, I think, where you can tell the volume was used. Like it seems relatively clear to me that like this was edited, but it's absolutely awesome.
Yo, I'm about to go fucking watch that right now. But we can keep going. I'll be with it.
All right, cool. So as it's like it's rotating around them and it's really cool. Dan explains that they're trying to get the coordinates from Moff Gideon's cruiser. Mayfeld's like, "Yo, fuck that. Take me back to the scrapyard."
He won't. No smoke. No smoke.
Kara's like, "Yo, they have the kid," and Mayfeld's like, "What the fuck? The little green guy?" Is that what you're talking about? And,
accurate. Only way to describe him.
And she's like, "Yeah, the little green guy." And he's like, "So, I help you get him back. You let me go?" And they're like, "Okay, chill out, guy. You'll get a better view. You ain't getting set free."
That was such bullshit. Like from the get-go, you just know. Like you know that that's Cap. He's too likable of a character to not be free. He's too likable. Like
you can't just lock him in.
You know that's gonna like they're not gonna put him back in that bitch.
Yeah. Yo, and for real, this episode made me like Mayfeld a lot more. Like he expanded his character like crazy.
Dude, we'll get into it later. I can't get into it now.
Yeah, we'll have to get to it later.
Also, just real quick, just got done. Like, just watched that clip of like the inside of the hole. Crazy.
Beautiful, right?
I did not notice that at all.
Awesome.
Yeah,
well, that's what it's so normal and looks so perfect that you hardly notice it when you're watching. Yeah, I only noticed it on my second watch.
Yeah. I only noticed it because you literally told me what to look for, and I was like, "Well, goddamn, I just did not notice that at all the first time I watched."
Wait, Miles, where at in this episode is that?
It's literally like immediately after the title card. The title card, the like ship starts like to fly away, and it shows it like rotating as it's lifting. And then it cuts inside, and they're like talking to each other.
Okay. I'm about to witness it.
I want to hear this.
Okay. Oh!
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Holy fuck.
That's so sick.
I absolutely loved that part. But, after
maintenance on that bitch would be a motherfucker. That would suck. Impossible. Y'all have got to keep a tally on the curse words for me this episode because it is going to be through the fucking goddamn roof.
Absolutely. So Mayfeld agrees. He's like, fine, I guess. And he says he can't get those coordinates without access to an Imperial terminal and that there is one on Morak, a secret Imperial mining hub. And the name Morak might have rang a few bells for a guy like Kyler, I think, because I know you're a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy. And there is a planet, the planet that it starts on, where Peter Quill is dancing, and is called Morak.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I thought. I thought that's what they said, and I was like, yo, Star Wars MCU crossover? Like, what?
It's not the exact
thing. No, I know it's not, but that is exactly
Marvel is Morag, and this is
Morak. Yeah, no, that's
but exactly. I heard it, and I was like,
yeah, that shit fucking shook me for a second. I was like, out of all of the made up fucking names you can think of, you really picked like that similar of one? Like, bruh, you could have said any fucking gibberish and I would have believed you and thought, I want to be there. I want to go there.
All of the made up names you could think of. I love that.
Well, I mean, let's
it's so true.
Whether it was like made up for this specific episode or made up like years ago in like comic book or like fucking like novel, like it is not real. Like it is fiction. Like, I mean, some dude, I imagine, was just sitting in his fucking room staring at a ceiling at like 3 a.m. and thought, that's
Morak.
This point. That is it.
That's how I feel like. That's what I feel like. Like George Lucas just spent like an entire day just like with like balls of paper. You would just like write the name down and just be like, "Nah, that sounds fucking stupid," and throw it away.
Nah, bro.
I think he just like looks at something and goes, "That's its name."
Exactly.
No, bro.
When
I'm
he came
telling
on
you
the
right
set of
now.
The Mandalorian and saw that guy and was like, "That's Axe Woves." Like, why? What the fuck? You just had that in your back pocket? Like, you were just like, "This guy is Axe Woves."
But then they go so simple. Like they'll see a fucking ant creature and be like Dr. Mandible, and like that makes sense. It's like, how do you pick and choose? What is the deliberation between being like, let's go for some fucking random gibberish versus being like, yeah, this is calculated as fuck, Dr. Mandible. Like, how do we
I think
fucking?
we're getting Dr. Mandible next episode.
No, I think we get a spin-off. Fucking next episode. I think we get a whole fucking series for this motherfucker.
It's gonna be like Grey's Anatomy in the Galaxy with Dr. Mandible as the head.
The memory of Dr. Mandible had completely left my mind, and as soon as you said it, all I remembered was your just pure hatred for him, Kyler.
Bro, as long as we get a scene where if it's like Grey's Anatomy, I know this isn't Grey's Anatomy, but as long as we get a scene like ER where a helicopter falls out of the fucking sky and crushes him to death, I'm fucking with it. Like, I'm with it.
Bro, I only say that we get Dr. Mandible in this next episode and the finale because the finale is directed by Peyton Reed.
By Dr. Mandible.
By Dr. Mandible.
By the guy who introduced Dr. Mandible.
Okay, true. Facts.
Kyler,
He's gonna do surgery on like fucking Mando or Baby Yoda.
You said you wanted to work for like Disney at one point, right?
You have heard it here first.
That's a great prediction that Dr. Mandible does surgery on either the baby or on Din. I love it. That's my favorite prediction of the season.
Kyler, you said that at one point you wanted to work for Disney, right?
No, like it's not like that is forever the goal.
Okay. I hope that you get a job at Disney at some point and you meet that director and you just walk up to him, say nothing else, but you just go, "Fuck you for Dr. Mandible."
No, dude, if I meet Peyton Reed, I'm gonna say, "Can I please like get Paul Rudd's number? Like, for the love of God, can you please just pass that on?" I'll be like, I swear to God, I'm not a stranger. I sat literally one seat over from him at a World Series game once. Well, not a World Series game, but a postseason game. I swear to God, that actually happened. That's
guy over here.
No, okay,
big guy.
It's a whole different story. It does not apply. I shouldn't even have said anything. Moving on.
We will talk about Ant-Man eventually. So.
Oh shit.
We'll get there at one point. Some point down the line. Save that story.
This is your incentive to come back. I'm hooking y'all motherfuckers in. You better come back. Tune in.
You got to hear about how Kyler met Paul Rudd.
This could be like fucking years from now.
No, Colton, not met Paul Rudd. Sat one seat down from Paul Rudd.
I did not meet him. I did not say a word, and I took a secret selfie with him. But that
sounds like the story's been told. Don't come back. So, didn't tell
Yo, I know you did not tell our viewers to not come back. That is so counterintuitive. What is wrong?
I know. That's what'll keep them coming back.
Listen, I love you. Please come back forever.
Yeah, obviously. Anyone who's listening to our show, they are a friend. They are a friend of mine. So, Din tells Boba to punch in the coordinates for Morak, and we're off again. And then in space, Boba shows the others a scan of the planet, specifically a refinery, and it appears to be refining Rhydonium. And if you have watched the Clone Wars or Rebels, you might remember Rhydonium because when this shit exploded, it was absolutely beautiful. It was rainbow explosion.
It's beautiful. That is the most fucking tragic thing.
Like, it looked pretty because.
Oh no, I know exactly what you're saying. I just don't know, like. That is so fucking fucked up that, like, something so awful happening is beautiful.
No, like, Rhydonium exploding doesn't always mean someone died with it.
I mean...
Normally, but not always.
I would say we're like 80-20. Like, that's a pretty fair judgment to make on my behalf.
So Boba calls the substance volatile and highly explosive. And Mayfield's like, kind of like this one. And he points to Cara Dune. And Boba just looks at him completely unamused. Like,
his little shots that he takes at Cara. Oh, my God. They were hilarious.
So disappointed that Mando gave him that like look of like, you're not funny. Because that's literally, that is Mando's sense of humor in this show. Is the stupidest, like, just most random jokes out of nowhere. And I feel like that would also be a type of joke that Mando would make.
I'm waiting for the moment that a joke gets through to Din and he actually giggles in front of other people. Where he lets out that little, you know.
Bro, it's gonna be like there's this episode of Friends, and I don't remember what happens. I think they're talking about Monica and Chandler being together, and Joey's like sitting there, and he doesn't know. He's just like, they say something, and he's like,
And then he just realizes.
No, it's gonna be like that. Or it reminds me a lot of like Star-Lord when he's like when Thor's around and he tries to say something funny, and Thor and nobody else thinks it's funny, and then he's just like,
"You will not be taking our pod today, sir." You making your voice deeper?
That's funny.
Cue the noise. But he continues to break down the refinery's defenses, and they decide to sneak in quiet, get a closer look. And down on the surface, the 5 of them overlook a cliffside down to some transports moving Rhydonium. And Mayfeld tells them that he'll be able to get them in, but they got to help him get the hell out of there. Boba tells him to get to the roof. He'll drop in, pull them out. Nice and easy. And Kara says that her and Mayfeld will switch out with the drivers in the tunnel. Mayfeld's like, ha! You fucking thought, bro. No way you're going in there. You are a rebel, and they will definitely recognize you because this base is ran by former ISB agents. And they don't fuck around. And they're like, so who? Who won't be recognized? Who we got? They're like, Fennec? She's like, can't. Wanted by the ISB. Boba? Let's just say they might recognize my face.
Oh, next line of the episode, brilliant. By far,
bro. Brilliant.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't say line of the episode. I wouldn't say line of the episode. I have one reserved for that, and I don't know if anyone can top it.
Does come later.
Yeah, I think Colton and I are on the same page, but I don't even want to know what he's gonna say because I'm that confident that it's the same.
I agree.
No. But the line of the fucking show so far, really, if we're going to talk about it.
But potentially one of the funniest lines of the show. I will give you that, Joseph. That shit made me laugh very hard.
It was great. And
it's just another nod. I know we've touched on this a little bit, and I'm sorry. I know you were about to jump into something else.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
But it just is such another, like, good, I don't know, example. If you know it, you'll get it. A good example of Disney just doing more to really connect this show. Like, they're really not trying to, like, because I feel like we've seen in show, like, I don't know, there's certain times where, like, I feel like they don't do as much to, like, world build and, like, really connect this show to previous movie, like, things we've already seen.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe not with this. I don't know. Maybe not with this show, but like I've seen it in shows. Like you see it in the DC universe or even the Marvel universe. They don't do enough to connect
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Marvel universe.
They dumb it down to where it's like it's connected, but like don't pay too much attention because like we're not trying that hard. And it's like
that's what's funny about like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like there are like world threatening threats in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's like okay, but in this universe, the Avengers would just handle that shit.
Yeah,
we don't need
exactly. But like this is such a subtle, just a subtle and easy way to just be like, yo, like Boba Fett was really in these movies. Like this is the same guy. You guys are seeing this, right? Like the effects of the movies are. Yeah, and the effects of these movies are still taking, like, the effects are, like, in the show. Like, you're seeing it happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. I love that they don't, like, try to dumb it down or, like, shy away from embracing that this is really canon. Like, this goes in the same universe.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't think they'd shy away from introducing a Luke Skywalker. I think, in fact, the Mandalorian would invite that. They'd be like, yo, we're really in this bitch, okay?
Yo, Colton, I'm way too receptive right now. You cannot throw out some Luke Skywalker shit on me right now, bro. Come on.
Luke Skywalker shit. So, Din looks through his thermal sight and sees that the Imperials that are driving are wearing helmets. And he has an idea. He's like, I'll be going, but I won't be showing my face. So we get down to the tunnel. Mayfeld, Kara, and Din drop onto the transport, and Kara drops into the driver's seat and takes both of them out. Super badass, super cool. And then, we cut to Mayfeld and Din getting all armored up. And Kara looks at Din in his new getup and says, I wish I could say it looks good on you, but I'd be lying.
Oh, man. What a lot. Oh, man. Wow.
That's wonderful, too. And what's funny, too, is that, like, I like to think that was both, like, yeah, you look goofy in that armor, and also, like, Stormtrooper armor looks fucking shitty on anybody. I'm a rebel, and I hate Stormtroopers, So, and Din's just like, fuck your comment, brushes it right off, doesn't respond to it, and tells her to make sure to take out the rooftop gunners, otherwise they're fucking toast, and he hands her his Beskar and tells her to take care of it. I will. Mayfeld's like, and they have this real, like, soldier brethren moment. And Mayfeld's like, yo, we're on the clock. And after a pause, he just goes on a roll here, just a tear. Yo, we're on the clock. He looks at looks at Din and goes, "What would they say on Mandalore?" And then he looks back at Kara and says, "It's a shame you're not tagging along. You've got such a sunny disposition. I'm sure you're so fun on one of these." Like, this man just went joke, 3 in a row. Didn't hesitate.
I think they just kind of let him rip.
Yeah.
I think they gave him the information he needed to know, and then they just told him, just go.
They said, here's who your character is. Here's your relationship with these two. Now go. And then he just started being like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
And that's just so Bill Burr's comedy.
Exactly.
Like, of course he's going to be the one like joking and roasting the other characters. That's just Bill Burr's role, And, they take control of the transport and they're on their way out of the tunnel, and Mayfield's like, "Hey, how's it feel? Wearing a new helmet and stuff." And he's kind of egging him on to take it off, and he removes his own, and he says he can't see in it. He's like, "Ugh, fuck this." And he's like, "I don't know how you people do it." And then he goes, "By you people, I do mean Mandalorians."
So, wow. Okay, I really thought that Mando was just going to like turn and then punch him in the face. Like, I thought, because it was like building up. He kept saying stuff, and I thought Mando was getting more mad. Obviously, you can't see his face, but like, I thought he was about to just turn and just clock him, man.
I am so convinced because I'm sure it's Jon Favreau reaching out to Bill Burr to be like, "Hey, I got this part. I think you'd be a fit." And Bill Burr's like, "Okay, sure. What's the synopsis? Like, what's this guy like?" And they're like, "No, literally, we just want you to be Bill Burr with a different name, like on the
We just want you to be Bill Burr in Star Wars."
Shit. Like, all right.
This seems like a great part where I feel like whoever one of the writers in the writer's room had him say, "I don't understand how you people wear the helmets." And Bill Burr was like, "It'd be funny if I said afterwards, and by you people, I do mean Mandalorians."
Was that kind of like
It's supposed to be racist.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
that's exactly what it was meant to be.
If you have to ask, it definitely is.
If you have to ask, is that racist? It is racist.
Yes. Which is why I feel like that's the type of thing that they had him say. And Bill Burr was like, "It'd be funny as shit if I said this afterwards, so I'm gonna say it."
It was a very earthly and grounded joke too. They were like that. That was pretty much the most earthly joke I think they've ever made in Star Wars. If you really think about it. And
it's because Bill Burr is actually.
You're right.
It's just Bill Burr. It's Bill Burr in space.
Exactly.
Quite literally.
They exit the tunnel, and Fennec's looking through her sight and sees that Phase 1 is complete. She reports it to Boba, and he's like, "Cool, standing by." And Mayfeld looks to Din and tells him that it feels better when the helmet's off. And then they look to the side of the road, and Mayfeld gets all worried because he sees some wreckage, and it's like it appears to be the very same build of the transport that he is currently driving. And we hear a voice over the comms and says to watch their speed as they're coming in a little hot. They need to watch their cargo heat limits and speed, and a response from a different trooper in another cargo ship. And Din looks to Mayfeld and tells him not to worry about the Rhydonium, to just be normal. We'll be cool. Chill. We'll be cool. Don't think about it too much, all right? It's not even in the back of the car. Don't worry. So Mayfeld honks the horn to get a bunch of people to move out of the path, and they look at the passing faces, children scowling down the side of Imperials. And Mayfeld says that Empire, New Republic, it's all the same to these people. Nothing but invaders on their land. And I was like, okay, Mayfeld. I'm kind of with you here.
It's true.
And he tells Din somewhere, someone in the galaxy is ruling, and others are being ruled. And I was like, this is such a nod. Like, this is such a little wink at the audience. Like, somewhere, someone in the galaxy is ruling, and the others are being ruled. And that's such a nod to Palpatine. Just wink. And I mean, obviously, Mayfeld doesn't know about the guy. It's just a little, like, viewer, you'll get
Maybe
this.
he does. Never know.
I seriously doubt it. But, he asks if Din thought that all those who died in wars fought by Mandalorians actually had a choice. And he says, how are they any different than the Empire? And just an interesting take from Mayfeld to be anti-war. I wasn't really anticipating
who
it.
would have thought that a sharpshooter would be like...
Guy who had a gun on his back that
Bro,
could
this man...
control with whatever. We don't know how he controlled it, but...
This man's on some Wolverine type shit where he's like, yeah, everyone loves what they're good at, and he's like, I don't. Because Wolverine's good at fucking murdering things.
He is good at that.
And, Mayfeld continues to say that people all over the galaxy, from Mandalore to Alderaan, believe different shit, but neither of them exist anymore.
Whoa.
Damn.
Like, that's kind of heavy, man.
He got deep here. He was getting philosophical as fuck with it, okay?
Yo, not to like totally.
And nihilist as shit. This man is a nihilist, no doubt.
Not to totally derail this discussion, but what is that show where it's like, oh, never mind, it's Back to the Future, where Doc Brown's like, is there a problem with Earth's gravity in 1985? Why is everything so heavy? Joseph said that, and that made me think of it. I apologize. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. I'm probably gonna fuck this whole thing up, the whole episode. But
you're good.
I'm just I'm on my own little fucking vibe right now.
You're on your own little plane of existence at the moment.
You guys are just gonna have to let it fucking ride. I don't know what else to tell you.
Mayfeld continues. He says he's a realist, a survivor, just like you, talking to Mando. And Mando finally speaks up after all this, and he says, yo, first things first, we are nothing alike. Get that out of your head right now. Mayfeld's like, I'm not so sure. It seems your rules tend to change when you get desperate. And he pokes at him a little bit. He's like, was it like you can't take off the Mandalorian helmet because that's what you told me before, but now you're wearing a Stormtrooper helmet, so is it you can't show your face because these are two very different things?
But this is reasonable. Bro, you were the one that said, who's going to come with me? And what? Did you want him to be like, nope, can't take the helmet off, get fucked? You wanted to go by yourself? I don't know why you would talk shit to this man right now.
Mayfeld's just the antagonist, bro. He just likes to fuck with you.
Yeah, what do you mean? Why would you be talking shit to him right now? That's who Bill Burr is. He's just sitting there just continuing being like, poke, poke, poke. Do something, bitch. Poke, poke, poke.
Yeah, I think they just kind of kept the camera on him for 10 minutes and just kind of let him rip, and then they just kind of took some parts out of it.
Yeah, they said, all right, Den, here's your lines. Bill, go to town. Respond whatever you want to what he says.
Mayfeld says, we're all the same. Everybody's got their lines they won't cross until things get messy. That if you can make it through your day and still sleep at night, you're doing better than most. And I was like, man, Mayfeld's just a sad boy, huh?
Well, he just was enslaved, kind of, so...
No, yeah, don't get me wrong. He has reason to be a sad boy. But he's tortured he's a tortured soul from his days as an Imperial sharpshooter.
And that's okay.
He feels extreme guilt.
But to kind of dive into this part of the episode a little bit, dude, that's why I love this part of the episode, because it dives into his character so much. If you'd have told me that we would have gotten depth like this from him, I would have been like, no fucking way. That dude got put in jail. What else? What left is there to talk about?
This man got a whole arc.
But the way it culminates at the end of this, towards the end of this episode, oh my God.
It's wonderful.
That is some of the most, bro.
It's some of the most moving shit we've ever had in Star Wars, and I'm not even capping. I loved it.
But how good is this show? Okay, I just saw a tweet the other day that said that people are starting, or that there's a growing, I don't even want to say consensus, but that there are people that think that the future of Star Wars is in television. And that's why we're getting so many shows.
Yeah.
But this is why. This is why that is truth. Where do you get a side character that gets this much value, gets this much development, gets this good of a story? Dude, Finn was a main character and didn't get this good of development. I don't feel out of my realm for saying that. I don't feel fucking
and you
crazy.
shouldn't. That's the thing, is they fucked Finn over.
It's shitty directing.
Honestly, Finn got that shit. Poe got the shaft. There's a lot of characters that should be so beloved and are, but even more so, that didn't get that kind of treatment, didn't get that kind of development.
Absolutely.
And that just is what's disappointing, is how is that the perspective I've gotten from Mayfeld getting this much development, is being wow, look at how underserved some of the bigger, better characters are.
This man was only in 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, and he managed to get a better and fuller arc than half the characters in the sequel trilogy. So what was Poe Dameron's arc? Could you tell me? No, you fucking couldn't, because he didn't have one. He just did something new in every movie.
He had force powers. And he also maybe loved Rey, but also
that was Finn, yes.
Didn't actually love Rey, and that he was going to say that he had force powers even though he didn't.
I mean, dude, it's just like I can't fault. Like, I don't want to believe it that TV is like the future. Like, that is where 90% of our Star Wars content will come from, because I don't think that's true. I think they know.
They officially announced 10 series in the next 3 years.
I just think that they're gonna. I just think that they know now that they can do both, and I think. Goddamn, I don't know. It's hard for me to want to doubt any trilogy that's going to come about until I see who the director, like who's going to be at the helm. Are we committed to giving this person 3 movies? Not, hey, we're going to give you 1. Oh, you fucked up. Give it to somebody else. Oh, well, you weren't that bad, actually. Can you come back? Like, if we're going to get a seamless story, like a seamless trilogy, dude, I don't see how you can doubt Star Wars. I don't see how you can't. I just don't.
The thing is that I don't know how much more we're going to see this. Like, we are looking at the trilogy idea. I don't know how much more we're going to go with that, because we officially have confirmation that the next Star Wars movie is Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984, Rogue Squadron, which will come out in 2023, and it's based around the Rogue Squadron, the group that was spawned by Rogue One, which I think, and I don't know,
our first movie.
Yeah, our next movie in the Star Wars franchise.
Yo, I'm gonna fucking cry. I did not know we were that far away from our. Oh my god!
I honestly thought I saw the stuff about the Rogue Squadron. I thought that was going to be a TV show. I did not realize that was going to be a movie.
Now that one's going to be a movie, and I think that's a standalone. And I look forward to that, because I think if we get the and like Taika Waititi, he's in development on his Star Wars project too. And I don't know if that's going to be. I don't think that'll be a confirmed trilogy off the bat. If anything, they'll float the first one out there and hopefully have ideas for where to take it. But I think that movie specifically is just going to say, fuck everything you've ever known in Star Wars. I'm Taika Waititi, and this is going to be fucking wild. Because I'm sure he's going to just jump forward hundreds of years and be like, this is a brand new timeline. You don't know anything.
I wouldn't actually be opposed to that, though.
I wouldn't at all. See, I'm completely open to that, actually. I would love brand new Star Wars storytelling, completely new timeline.
100%. And I think what I keep seeing is the High Republic. Everybody, it seems so resounding that, like, so many people want this.
It's just because they want to go before everything that we've seen. And they don't want to go after, because if you go after, then, there's still going to be the side effect.
Right, you're still building off of, right.
Then you can kind of like bring, obviously the only character that I guess you'd bring in from the original, or from like the original series would be like Yoda.
Yoda, yeah. And
everyone wants to see a little gremlin overdosing on ketamine, so.
Oh my god, ketamine.
But let's move forward with the episode, shall we?
No, we shan't.
Over the comms, we hear over the comms we hear another patrol call out for help, and we hear some shots ring out, and Mayfeld's face turns to panic, and we hear another voice saying to please stand by for reroute. And then we see an explosion that Juggernaut 4 has been destroyed, and the voice tells them to proceed with caution. And Mayfeld's like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
I think they could have given
just saw an explosion.
A little more detail. Maybe just they could have given a little bit more.
But they also probably, like, they're assuming that the people driving these have worked here and know what the dangers are of, like, hey,
right, fair.
Be careful.
Yeah, so Mayfeld steps on it as they are approached and boarded by pirates. And Din hops out the window and fires his weapon at them. And Mayfeld, astonished, is just like, are you seriously shooting a blaster near Rhydonium? Are you fucking crazy? And, Din sees that they have thermal detonators, and he's like, yo, they've got thermal detonators. And Mayfeld's like, well, fucking great. And he climbs out the back.
What do you want me to do? Like, they've got fucking goddamn grenades. You don't want me to fucking shoot a bullet? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, what do you like, I'm going to take these motherfuckers on by hand, which is funny because, like, what we get
doing that.
precisely that, but, like, still.
And he's able to shoot the one guy off with the detonator, and he takes the tumble with the detonator in hand after it's already been armed. So, you know, him and one of the little pirate ships goes boom, boom, fiery death for all of them. And Mayfeld yells back at him. He's like, yo, you should have left me in prison, bro. Why'd you do this to me? And the fight rages on for a while longer. Like, this was a long fight scene, bro.
Yeah. They just kept coming, man.
It just kept going. I was like, when is this going to end? Like, the first time I watched it, I mean, it looked cool and all, but I was like, this has been like 10 minutes of the episode. Is this? And like, I don't have many notes for it. It's just like the fight kept going. It just kept going on. And, you know, also, it's extremely evident that Din is not used to fighting without his Beskar.
Yeah.
This man taking hits and going, fuck.
Yeah. No, that's what I loved about this, is that he actually has to face consequences for, like, combat shit.
You know, taking shots.
Yeah, no.
I have one question though. What was the pirates or whatever they were? What was their goal? Was it just to destroy them? Because I feel like that doesn't seem like a very smart thing to do.
No, I think these might have just been like kind of anti-imperial rebels. Like, I think they were just trying to destroy the Rhydonium so the Empire didn't have it.
Yeah, I guess probably. I was just thinking of like,
it frames the episode in such a weird way because, you know, Din is fighting for the Empire for a moment.
Yeah. Well, and
weird.
Like that like, I don't know, like species or race or whatever you want to call them. I don't know why I just like, whenever I see them, I just think pirate.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, and like seeing them just literally their only goal is to try and blow stuff up. I'm like, this just seems weird. I feel like you should be trying to steal this stuff, not just blow it up.
Yeah, I'm imagining that, like, I think since they were just trying to blow it up, the only logical conclusion to me is that they are anti-imperial and they didn't want the Empire to have Rhydonium.
Yeah, which is fair.
Absolutely. It's just funny when you frame it like that, then that means Din is fighting for the Empire.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're just absolutely done for when Din gets pinned down and they attach a detonator to the Rhydonium, and, you know, Din's like, fuck this, escapes the clutches, throws the detonator at the following pirate ship, and goes boom, boom. But again, more come at, like, more than there have been the entire time. They were just like, fuck it, now we're all here.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. I don't know if I really like this part, but
it's all right. You know?
Dude, no, fucking awesome. I don't know how you could say it. I fucking loved it. I don't know. Maybe I'm
it was wildly entertaining. Don't get me wrong. It just felt like they kept coming, and I was kind of like, where from? But
I think, okay, here's what I'll say. I have such an attachment to this scene just because of what happens right at the end of it.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Like, that's what saves it for me, is like,
I agree. This part is awesome.
The parallel.
For the first time ever, we are relieved to see the Empire.
Yeah.
As they finish off the pirates from the TIE fighters and the ground forces, and Din and Mayfeld safely get into the base as they are saluted.
Never been so happy to see stormtroopers before.
Yeah.
He had some good lines.
Be happy to see stormtroopers. And, you know, they are greeted by chants and cheers for their valor against the pirates when they get inside, and they make their way through the crowd and take a peek to see what they're working with, and Mayfeld spots the terminal, which looks exactly like an arcade game, and I am convinced that's almost certainly what they used as the prop. And, you know, he's ready to head in, and he takes a couple steps in, and he stops. He spots Valen Hess, a man he served under. And he's like, yo, can't do it. I mean, I was just a field operative, but he's not taking the chance. So it's over.
This was kind of, I don't know. It was kind of just a way to get Mando to take his helmet off. It didn't really make much sense.
Exactly what it is.
Because, like, you know, his character, Bill Burr, could make up something and be like, he's probably not going to recognize him in the first place at all. Mm-hmm. And then if he does recognize him, like, he could just say, like, it's a pleasure to be serving under you again, or some stupid, like, something like that.
See, the way that I look at it is that the reason this happens is because when Mayfeld sees this guy, it makes him flustered as fuck initially. Yeah. Like, he doesn't know how well he'll be able to control himself. He is concerned he might murder the guy. because
Fair.
he does end up murdering.
He does end up doing that. Also, I think it's kind of like one of those things of like, yeah, he probably won't recognize me, but if he does and I can't come up with an excuse and him believe it, we're really fucked.
Really fucked, yeah. So,
because at least later on, he controls how it happens because,
Exactly.
he just pulls the gun out and shoots him in the face.
So Din tells him, come on, you can do it. Just make it quick. And Mayfeld and him go back and forth for a few moments. He's like, yo, I really don't want to do it. He's like, yo, you have to do it. And he's like, no, I really can't. He's like, yo, if you don't do this, I never see the kid again. He's like, I fucking can. He's like, you fucking will. And he's like, no, I won't. And so Din's like, fuck it, give me the thing. And Mayfeld's like, that won't work. And you're just like, well, what's gonna work, Mayfeld? And he's like, you got to take off your helmet. And Din says, fuck it, I'm doing it. And he takes the key, and you're like, what?
Okay, my thing is, so what I wanted to know, why? How?
Accept any human face?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like that's what I was wondering. Could any fucking person with an actual human looking face just go scan their shit and then be like, yep, acceptable? Like, bro, and honestly, it wouldn't surprise me, given the way that the fucking Empire's designed their fucking Death Stars up to this point, where there's just a clear path to a fucking destruction of just your whole fucking plan. Like, it doesn't fucking surprise me. Also, but like, why? Why?
If you think about it, the only thing that all of these the stormtroopers have in common is they're all human. And so you could reasonably say maybe like as long as you have this little thingy, the right code, and you're human, you're good to go, because, that's the only reason they have that is to be sure that someone who's not human doesn't try and break it.
Yeah, the Empire is notoriously racist against anything that is not human.
Rightfully so, but
oh no, I just kind of felt it was convenient to the plot.
They
didn't want to explain it. They didn't explain it. They just said, "Fuck it, go with it."
Yo,
it was kind of cheap.
100%.
Why I just thought about this, and I'm sorry to backtrack, but like, why did the fucking pirates not just throw the detonators? Why did they have to fucking stick them onto the fucking Rhydonian?
I don't think they are like Semtex. I don't think they just stick. I think you actually have to actively like
a frag grenade, like you gotta cook it, like in Call of Duty, like you gotta cook that shit and then like throw it when it's about to blow. Oh,
I guess they could do that too, because Den does do that.
Yeah. Oh, okay, goddamn.
I guess there probably are a lot more plot holes in this episode than we were actually really.
Definitely,
but
dude, they're tiny. Yeah, Joseph. I really do think that they said, "All right, we want Den to have to take his helmet off." But
not here.
Okay.
I don't think it should have been here.
Yes,
this is just like. It's stupid. I don't know. I didn't like this moment.
What the fuck is going to happen? Is Din going to come face to face with Moff Gideon and he's going to be like, take off your helmet or I kill the kid? Like, he's not going to do that. He's just going to fucking kill the kid.
You have to have something where, like,
he wants to be with baby.
Exactly.
Okay, none of that is going to sound clear when we release this episode, because all three of us were talking at the same time.
Yeah. Everything that's important is he wants to find the baby. And in order to do so, he's faced with a situation where he has to take his helmet off. And so he takes his helmet off.
Nah, I don't know. I didn't like it. It just seemed way too forced.
Yeah,
way too forced. And the first time should have been with Grogu. And I don't know. I did not like this episode. I'm not a fan.
You also thought that Din would be a good leader of Mandalore, so.
Okay.
You never know. I actually think Boba's going to lead that shit. I don't think
Boba's not going to lead that shit.
Beef.
He will.
Beef. Mando's just fucking Boba's trying to make his way through the galaxy.
Exactly. What better way to make it through than lead a planet?
That's the exact opposite of what I'm saying.
Both Din and Boba, neither of them are going to become the leaders of Mandalore, Joseph.
Okay. Anyway, what I wanted to say was that the parallel, I didn't touch on this, and I don't know how I fucking missed it. Actually, I do, but I don't.
You were completely zoned in on your phone. I kept talking, and I kept looking at you like, is he actually going to get to whatever the fuck he wanted to talk about a second ago? And he never did.
But when Mando fucking stood up and had his fists out, and he was totally exhausted, tell me what that made you think of. It's so obvious to me.
I don't know.
You didn't think of Steve Rogers in fucking Avengers Endgame?
Oh, when he gets up to face Thanos again?
all by himself and he's beat the fuck up.
That's the thing is that like I wish that moment would have resonated with me like that. It's just that like I was never concerned he was going to lose to these pirates. I was thoroughly convinced Steve Rogers was going to get his shit kicked in by Thanos.
Oh my god, that is such a good point. That is such a good point. But like that just like fists up like I'm going to take you.
Oh no, I totally see what you're talking about. Where he's like, fuck it. All right, here we go again.
Exactly. Like that parallel was like chef's kiss.
It was gorgeous. And, you know, so Din, he says, fuck it. He walks in, he heads for the terminal, and he tries to scan his face with the helmet on. And
no. Okay, so what I said, this is what's funny. In my notes, I literally put, God damn, he blends in like a fucking unicorn at a petting zoo. This man is fucking just socially awkward to the point where it's like, oh my God, dude, like, at least walk with a normal, like, tempo. Like, you are really walking like you don't belong here. No, just the walk, let alone the posture.
The man was so stiff.
Like, you don't fit in at all. Like, you were just staring bullets at everyone that is looking at you. And, like, bro, can you get a clue? Like, blend in at least a little bit. Like, holy shit. No,
that's what's so cool about this character is that normally he is so good. He is so cool and in command. But if he has to do anything social, it is fucking hell for him. And it's because he's never had to talk to anybody.
Right. Do you think that he is even it's even worse because of his not being in his armor in this episode?
He feels naked.
Because I
think he feels naked. I think he's like, I'm not protected in the slightest.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I didn't even realize that until now. But like him not being in the armor makes so much more sense to me.
It's just he's not calling the shots. Yeah. He usually calls the shots every situation. And then now he's putting
everything on the line for a chance to get to the kid. Not even putting everything on the line to get the kid. It's just getting the directions to the kid. Like he's just like, I'm way out of where I want to be right now. I just have to put everything down and say, fuck everything else. I've got to get to this kid. And you know, when it fails to scan the helmet, he does not hesitate after that to remove it. He's like, all right, fuck it. Fine. I guess I have to do this. And
no, he does hesitate because it
counts down.
It's like, hey, fuck you. Take your helmet off, bitch. Mm-hmm. Countdown beginning, and he's like, and then everyone like looks at him like, the fuck is this idiot doing? Why does he still have his helmet on? It's like, fine, takes it off, scans it as it says 1.
Yeah, and you know he sticks the little thing in it, and he gets the coordinates he needs, and Valen Hess meanwhile has been like, yo trooper, what's up? And he's been completely ignoring him. Din is eventually forced to look at him face to face, and you're like, oh shit, it really happened. He's just coming face to face with Valen Hess with his face out and everything. That's just that, huh? And
with his face out.
And you know, Hess asks for his designation, and Din's like, transport crew. And Hess is like, what? And you know, again, Din's like, I'm transport co-pilot.
He is just throwing out words and just hoping that something sticks. Like this man is just fucking. It's awful. Like it is so bad.
He goes, "No, son. What the fuck is your TK number, guy?"
Yo, the fact that this dude is saying "son" is so weird to me. Like, when did like an Imperial officer become suddenly Southern? I'm just.
No, this man gave me Confederate general vibes, and I think he was supposed to.
Absolutely. I'm just waiting for this man to pull out a fucking pack of Red Man and a fucking sweet tea. Like, that's all I'm waiting for.
Tyler, but also, when the fuck did a space pirate get a Boston accent?
Okay.
Bill Burr. So, like, it's just, they have accents.
It's just like, it just be like that. Like, okay, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big galaxy, you know, people from all over the place.
Yo, I just need to know whatever planet this Valen Hess dude is from, and just so I know not to fucking go there. That's all I need to know.
Ever.
Bro, talk about the least fucking inclusive.
What's your TK number, bro?
Least fucking accepted fucking universe on the planet. Or in the galaxy. Like, I will just avoid that shit.
Mayfeld approaches, and he's like, saving his ass. He goes, this is TK 593. He's my commanding officer. I'm TK 111. What's up, brother?
Yo.
And
Smooth as fuck with the shits.
Yo,
Absolute contrast between Mando and him. Like Mayfeld comes in, just
he's the
absolute
smooth talking
It's just
Lando
like,
Han type guy. He's like,
Yeah,
yo, I'll get us out of this situation with
that
my
is
words.
That's why he
exactly
could have gone up to that panel very easily.
That's
Could've
what I'm
made
saying. He
some-
probably could have, but you know, it is what it is. We got what we got.
shit to save Mando from Valen. Why didn't he just go up and do it in the first place? Like, if you could save him from Valen by yourself, like, why wouldn't you just go do it in the first?
But you could also make the argument though that the reason that he accepted all of this so quickly and wasn't like, hey, wait a minute, you look really fucking familiar, was because of the fact that he was already focusing on Den being a SPAC.
And also, it adds.
It could be a necessity. Like, oh shit, I only need to get involved if I absolutely have to.
Yeah.
It also pushes Mayfeld's his character forward a little bit. The fact that he was willing to be like, shit, I got to protect this guy, and he did it. Like he didn't just he didn't hang this guy out to dry. He was like, I'm with this guy, so this is my guy for now, you know?
Very true.
Because if Mayfield walks up to the thing immediately and the guy just focuses on him and he's just talking face to face with him, Mando's not going to be able to walk up and be able to help the situation out at all. Shit, he'd walk up and be like, co-pilot. And then he'd be like, all right, you guys are both fucking imposters. Get out.
So, you know, Bill Burr, he gives another great excuse. He's like, you're going to have to speak up to my guy here ever since his vessel lost pressure into Nab. And do you guys remember where we've heard Tanab before?
I do not.
It's in Return of the Jedi when Lando gets promoted to general, and he's like, they must have heard about my maneuver at the Battle of Tanab. You know, like, I wonder if that's the battle they're referencing where he lost pressure in his vessel. What if that'd be really cool? I would love that. But
what if one of Mayfield's buddies actually had that happen to him? Because, like, he went into a spiel about, like, all my buddies died, like, cruelly, and you let them die. Like, I don't know, maybe it was kind of like some built-up anger. Like,
I'm sure it was. And, you know, Bill Burr's like, yo, let's get the fuck out of here, all right? He tries to escort him out the room, and Valen Hess is like, you're not dismissed. And I was like, fuck. And, you know, he talks to them all anonymously for a second, and then decides, let's grab a drink.
You know what this reminded me of?
What's that?
And I just realized, like, literally right now, just now, thinking about it, Inglourious Bastards, when they're in the bar with the Nazi officer.
Yeah, I understand. I get that.
That is exactly the vibe I get. And given how this pans out, boy, does it seem awfully similar. I guess they come out with their lives, but, like, still, just fucking, like, damn, that parallel to me was just hitting really hard.
It was. And, you know, outside the facility, Cara Dune and Fennec watch on from above, and they look through their scopes to see what's happening. They break down their plan of attack, and they wonder what's taking the guys so long. And, you know, we cut back inside. And in there, Brown Eyes and Mayfeld are sitting down for a drink with Valen Hess.
Brown Eyes. Oh, who would have thought?
And I love that they were like, fuck it. This is the first time this guy has seen his face, and he's letting him know that he paid so much attention immediately that he knows what color his eyes are.
He's like, damn.
What if they come back into contact with, like, Mayfeld eventually, and he's like, sup, Brown Eyes, and then everyone's like,
the fuck did you say?
You know the color of this man's eyes? That'd be interesting. But
that'd be really funny though.
Oh, super funny. And Hess is like, so where are you from, Brown Eyes? And Mayfeld's like, how about we propose a toast to Operation Cinder? And I was like, oh, we're about to get fucking real. And Hess is taken aback. He's like, a man who knows his history. He says it's impressive. And Hess reminisces on the day and how glorious it was for a victory of the Empire. And Mayfeld's like, an entire city gone, the people in it. And we lost our whole division that day. It's like 5,000 to 10,000 people. And Hess is like, yep, and all heroes of the Empire. It was a small sacrifice for the greater good. And Mayfeld says, is it? Depends on who you ask. All those people, the ones who died, was it good for them? Their families, their friends, the guys I served with? The citizens fighting for their freedom? And I was like, fuck yeah, get his ass, Mayfeld, do it.
He was kind of going in, man.
He was going in. I loved it.
He was. And it honestly, as soon as I heard him call into question, like, what he said, I knew what it was building to. Like
Yeah,
that
it had
was
to
the
be.
instant because I was like, oh fuck,
Oh,
he's only saying this knowing how it's gonna end. Like he
Yeah.
knows what he's gonna do.
Something's happening because he's not going to get away with saying all this stuff.
No, absolutely not.
And Hess is like, we've outlived every one of them. They're eating themselves alive. The New Republic is in disarray, and the Empire grows stronger by the day. He says that with the Rhydonium they've just delivered, they can wreak havoc that will make Burnin Khan pale by comparison. And this gets to Mayfeld, bro. He immediately is just like, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Like, I did not deliver this.
Like, you can see him
now.
like
Yeah.
he is visibly angry. It is manifesting in his movements. He looks over at Dan. He's like, "You better fucking stop me." And Dan's like, "You gotta fucking chill, bro." And he's like, "No, bro."
The humanization, though, but like the fact that like I don't know. I think this just builds off of the humanization we get with Finn as a stormtrooper. Like,
it does. It absolutely does.
And that just goes to show even more so, double fact, honestly, how much more they did with Mayfeld being way less significant of a character in the show, way less significant of an Imperial / Stormtrooper, like, person, and building him into this, like, humanized, like traumatized, like the effects of that. Like Finn, you only get it a little bit, but like with Mayfeld, you're seeing this all play out, like tenfold, like start to finish.
Bro, he's a good actor.
He is doing phenomenal.
I did not expect it. Like I
was emotionally moved by the way.
Yeah. And here's what I'll say: if you've watched Bill Burr do anything else other than this. Or even so, like for me, it's simple. Like it's his, I've seen his stand-ups, or at least a handful. I've seen F is for Family.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have seen that show on Netflix? It's an animated show. His voice acting, the way he can portray emotion, the way he can so easily express it, like the way he can animate himself, like whether it be like him actually being on camera, like his physical person, like it is in The Mandalorian or in his stand-ups, or just his voice and like his inflections and what he does for his voice acting in F is for Family. He does a great job of expressing that. Like you feel like you're really feeling that emotion. So I feel like this is like just makes total sense for him. It's like this is his niche, believe it or not. Like he thrives in this area, and that's shocking given he's a comedian, but like he does a fantastic job.
Yeah,
he absolutely does.
My bad. The episode he was in before, I kind of was like, I was serious about him, and then I'd remember like, oh, he's Bill Burr, and then kind of like laughed that he's in Star Wars.
Never once did that happen this episode.
This role, I took him seriously.
No, the whole time. And the first time I watched it, he was Bill Burr the whole time. This time when I was watching it, this guy was fucking Mayfeld.
Yeah.
I didn't think Bill Burr the whole time. I thought this is the character, and I loved it.
See, I thought Bill Burr, but that was just like at the beginning whenever he was like,
when he was joking around and
you
stuff.
have such a sunny disposition.
Yeah, exactly. And he says that Valen Hess here, he goes, people think they want freedom, but what they really want is order. And when they realize that, they'll welcome us back with open arms. And Din and Mayfeld look at each other, and Mayfeld's like, bro, you gotta fucking stop me, bro. You better stop me right now. And Din's like, you gotta fucking chill. And then Mayfeld just looks him right in the eye, and he's like, all right, drop. Fires that shit right into his chest. And a stormtrooper just like looks at them for a second, like, yo,
this is so funny. Like everyone looks at each other like, wait.
They're so confused. They're like, nobody's ever done that before.
Like, what? You guys are just celebrated as being heroes and delivering Rhydonium, and then you go and kill our leader right now? Yeah, I don't know. It'd be really weird to see what the stormtroopers were thinking.
And naturally, they just kill everyone else in the room. And, he's got a fucking gun on him. That man didn't miss. He said, pew, 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 pew. Imperial sharpshooter for sure. And Mayfeld grabs his helmet and hands it to Din and says, you did what you had to do. I never saw your face. And I was like, just again coming through.
Yeah. So, real quick question. So, do you think he learned how to shoot accurately after he stopped being an Imperial sharpshooter?
Definitely after. No way he could have.
Because, I mean,
dude, it's so.
He does mention in the previous episode that he's not. I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's so funny to me though that like they have these people in their midst and like they just can't hang on to them. That somehow the only people they put on the ground are people who can't fucking hit their shot. Like, how does this happen?
It's just bodies, man.
It really is. They've just got all the numbers. And, they make their escape as they are chased by some more stormtroopers, and they scale the side of the building up the roof as Cara Dune and Fennec Shand start picking off the ones chasing them, and it's pretty fucking cool. And Boba starts his run, trying to fly the Slave One over to save them, and they jump on board, jumping off the building. It was a pretty cool scene. And on their way out, Mayfeld's like, hand me the sniper. And you're like, oh, yeah. And he takes aim and he shoots right at the Rhydonium and destroys the whole refinery. And the line he says here, when he looks back at Dan, he goes, we all need to sleep at night. I was like,
damn.
Oh my God.
As
I was
Crowder
like,
said
yo,
earlier.
this was one of the most moving performances.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, tell me in the trilogy, where is Finn's line like that? Where is Poe's line like that? Where is it? It doesn't exist. It just doesn't. And that's sad to say, but like, it's not there. It's just not. And
It's
that's
just shitty writing, man. Shitty writing, shitty directing.
And it's such a shame because John Boyega is a fucking phenomenal actor and was absolutely great.
The potential of that character.
So is Oscar Isaac.
Either of them could act circles around Bill Burr, and that's no slight at Bill Burr. Like, that's just a fact. Like, they could act circles around this man, and yet he gets this line, he gets this development, and kills it. And it's like, goddamn, fucking imagine. Oh my God,
So right here, as they're flying off, you think, okay, cool, the episode's over. Nah, here's some TIE fighters coming up on the rear. And you're like, oh fuck, how are they going to get out of this one? Boba takes some evasive action, And then you see from behind, he arms something, and you're like, oh, what's going to happen? He opens the back of the ship, and you see it.
Nuts.
He engages the most beautiful of weapons.
The most gratifying lead up to the use of a weapon I think I've ever seen.
Ever. Bro, the most satisfying weapon usage in all of Star Wars was this episode of The Mandalorian when Boba Fett dropped the seismic charge, and the episode just goes silent. It descends, and we hear just fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Whenever I watch this, the people I was watching with, they're like, oh, what? They literally like audibly said, they're like, oh, what is he going to do? And I quietly went, seismic charge, seismic charge, seismic charge. And then they did it, and I was like,
oh, whenever he was flying like straight up, it was going to happen.
Dude. Oh my God.
I was sitting here watching it with my girlfriend at 2 a.m. and I was like ready for the episode to be over, and then I audibly yelled, holy fucking shit, that was awesome. She had to calm me down.
Can we talk about
I got so hyped.
Can we talk about the precision? Because is this a time thing where as soon as you drop it, it takes X amount of seconds
more advanced.
Explode?
Yeah.
What does this take? Is it a proximity thing where
I would assume
TIE fighter?
Yeah, probably a proximity of it knows.
If it's timed, he had to time it based on separation. Okay, I have officially reached X amount of yards away from these people. I can drop this bitch now. This is insane to think about. Just the logistics of it, and I don't know what has made me think of it, and why I'm nerding out about it so hard. But I am not opposed to it at all.
Also, if you think about it, maybe next time people try and chase after the Slave One, they should be diagonal with each other on different areas. So
that's the thing. I have a feeling the only person who's ever made it out of these seismic charges is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yep.
I doubt anybody else has made it out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That shit destroys your ship. No questions asked.
If I'm gonna go out, I'd rather go out with the seismic charge.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
If that's a thing in my lifetime, that's how I'm going out.
Yeah, I'm have the guy who plays, have Tamara Morrison just drop the seismic charge on me. We'll be cool. Oh, and speaking of the guys who play Boba Fett, today, as of the date of recording, the guy who played Boba Fett in the original trilogy passed away, Jeremy Bulloch, which is super sad.
It's a sad time for Star Wars actors, man.
It is.
Because they're also old.
Yeah.
The original trilogy.
Devastating, but
Oh, God damn it. I just thought about James Earl Jones. Oh, fuck.
No, so, not thinking about him, I literally saw a TikTok that was it was one of those 2050. I can't remember if one of you guys sent it to me.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of you guys sent it. The Ewan McGregor, and I was like, he's not allowed to die. He has to live forever.
Oh,
Dude, I love Ewan McGregor so
He's the first person, if we discover a way to make people, to like have them like be biologically immortal, he should be the first one.
Ewan McGregor is choice number
First one.
I don't care. I don't care who else. I don't care.
You have to watch. No, you guys have to watch his documentaries on Apple TV Plus, The Long Way Up, Long Way Around, and Long Way Down, because they are fucking phenomenal and they are so humanizing. I fucking love Ewan McGregor, and I already loved Ewan McGregor before I watched these just off Obi-Wan Kenobi, but now I love Ewan McGregor separately.
Yo, real talk, if y'all haven't watched Christopher Robin,
Fucking phenomenal, bro. Saw that shit in theaters.
I did too. I fuck with him in that movie.
He kills that shit. But, moving on. Mayfeld is ready to head back to the scrapyard, and he's like, so you guys gonna take me back, or what are we doing? And Dune's like, it's a shame Mayfeld died in the explosion back there. And Mayfeld's like, the fuck you talking about? You gonna kill me right now?
I thought that, man. I thought they were just gonna like bob.
I knew that that's what they were doing. But whenever he first said that, I completely understood like the character just feeling like, hold on a minute.
Oh, yeah. I don't think Mayfeld thought that he could do anything like slightly nice enough to save his life. Like I thought I feel like he knew he was either going to get killed in action, get killed after the fact, or taken back to jail. I don't think he foresaw being free at all. 0%.
Why he turned out why he became such a good guy, because at that point he was like, all right, well I accepted death, so might as well at least do a little bit of good before I die.
Exactly. The reason some of the good that he does in this episode means so much is because he didn't have the incentive of being set free. They told him at the beginning, you are not getting set free, and he still did all the shit he did just because it eased his conscience, to take out an entire Imperial refinery of Rhydonium.
Yeah, really funny though. Whenever he's like, "What? So I'm good to go." But
so
and he's like slowly walking.
I'm going.
He's the
I'm going, just like
he's the SpongeBob. I'm a head out meme. He's
I'm going. So like, give me a heads up if this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. All right. All right. See ya.
Bye, guys.
I feel like they could have dropped him off somewhere. Like
I thought.
Kind of shitty that they just
just going to chill on Morak for a while until he finds another ship. But he walks off and he's like, all right, I'm going. And Din and Kara are like, so what's the move? You get the coordinates? They're like, hell yeah, we're ready for that finale. Not so fast. We cut up to Moff Gideon's cruiser, and a message has been received that needs his attention. I have written the message down, and I will recite it now.
Please do.
We see Din in hologram form, and this has weight too because there's a reason now that we've seen Moff Gideon so fucking much in hologram form. It was for this. It was so when Mando popped up, you were like, oh. Mm-hmm. And he goes, Moff Gideon, you have something I want. You may think you have some idea of what you're in possession of, but you do not. Soon, he will be back with me. And then right here, he means more to me than you will ever know. Bro.
Yo,
bro.
Hearing him recycle Moff Gideon's lines were like,
listen, bro. Do you realize what this means?
Wow.
Do you realize what these words resonated with him to such a point that he was so scared for the child's life that they have just been playing over and over in his head?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. These shits are permanently ingrained in his fucking mind.
Do you think he recorded it in the Slave One? Like, that's probably where this recording happened. Do you think they were behind, like, hyping him up? Like,
that's exactly what I was gonna say. They're
like, oh,
one of them's doing the eating the cereal thing. They're fucking.
Or what if, like,
shout out my Jayhawks.
What if they were brainstorming, like, ooh, what do we tell this guy? We gotta scare the crap out of him, and then there it goes. I know what to say, and then just goes in.
This is honestly like I think the only time that Din has spoken, and it's been like, wow, he actually said the right thing at the right time, and not like, yeah, you guys are all gonna fucking die.
Yo,
bro, I cannot
just fucking absolutely murdered it.
I cannot express to you in words how much I fucking loved this part, bro. Mm-hmm. It was like, this is my favorite scene of the show so far.
Yes.
I'd agree.
Hits so hard.
I feel like it's not going to be our favorite scene for very long.
How? But in my opinion, how better to set up a finale? How?
There isn't a way. That was literally the best penultimate line ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, motherfucker, you know, like, because not only is it a message to us as fans, like, oh, y'all don't know what the fuck is coming. Like, this shit about to hit y'all. It's to Moff Gideon. Like, that message that hit us that hard, like, oh, shit, this shit is about to go crazy. Moff Gideon is in there like, oh, fuck, he's bringing it all. Like, he is really coming in with the heat right now.
I am so excited for this finale, too, because it is directed by Peyton Reed, a man who is very, very good at action sequences, bro.
A man who...
Ant-Man's action sequences should not be as exciting as they are, but they're fucking fun, you know? And knowing that we're going to see Mando and Boba working together along with, like, Cara Dune and
Dr. Mandible.
Yeah, Dr. Mandible.
Can I throw out a theory?
Yes,
Not
you can.
before mine.
I know
Dr. Mandible is a Sith Lord. Call me crazy.
It's most likely not going to happen, but this is what I want to happen. I want Moff Gideon heading to Kamino, the cloning planet. We see those awesome species we haven't seen in a fat minute, and that's where they clone. In comes Boba, back to where, you know, he was made. Pretty cool. And then, incoming, Mace Windu. Boba's at his original home, and then he sees the guy who killed his father. He'd be so emotional. In the fight, hopefully in the rain, out there, Boba for Mace Windu.
Yo, I'm talking about the species though. Throat game gonna go crazy.
And tells you what we think, Joseph. I'm just gonna say, me and Cole, before this episode started, spent a good 15 minutes talking about some stuff, and I will let Colton continue.
And I love this. I love this idea. I would love if Mace Windu shows up. I don't know that he will, but I would love it. And see, the thing here is, I think that if Mace Windu shows up, that Boba may initially want to fight him, but he will stick to his mission and save the child. No, I'm not done.
I know. I'm just sitting up because this is interesting.
So, he will stick to his guns and try to save the baby, right? Ultimately, I think he dies saving, if this is the case, Mace Windu and the baby.
Yes.
Showing that his love for his father and his connection to the father-son relationship is stronger than his hate for Mace Windu.
Yes.
And it would therefore be the perfect redemption arc for Boba Fett.
And I don't want him to be gone. I don't want it.
I don't think. Okay,
but I will say
there is a possibility that he doesn't want to kill him. Like he says, "I'm over it." Like I'm mature. Like I don't know.
He's gonna have I will finish this later like mindset.
Yeah,
like I will get to you after I'm done.
I think it's like that. And then after he's like, "I'll kill you later because like I still want you dead because you killed my dad." I think he does that because he's like, we're saving the baby first, and then in doing that, realizes as like Mace Windu and baby are about to be killed or something like that, he sacrifices himself for them in order to protect baby and also Mace because of the, as Colton said, the baby.
Yeah, like inverse Delonte West. Like rather than fuck LeBron's mom before the finals, like let's win the finals and then I'll fuck your mom type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like those vibes.
I think it would be hilarious if Mace Windu is coming down, he sees the slave one, and then he's just like, "Oh fuck!" Like,
what if Mace Windu's pulling up, he sees the slave one and just dips? Like, what if he makes a cameo? He goes, "Motherfucker," and then leaves.
I'd be so happy.
And then as like Mace Windu's ship is exiting, like Luke Skywalker's X-wing pulls up.
They look at each other like. I guess, no, Luke doesn't really know. He doesn't know Mace.
No, there's no way he does.
No. I know the idea of it. I don't know.
So, the reason that we talked about this beforehand, I brought it up. So, a couple days ago, the title of like the soundtracks for the last few episodes of the season leaked. All of them have kind of been matched up with like the previous episodes. So, like chapter 13, the Jedi. So the soundtracks that that people think went along with it were Ahsoka Lives, A Mandalorian and a Jedi, The Sorcerer, and The Story. Then there's the tragedy, which is the Seeing Stone, Activated the Armor, and Troopers, which all fit along. Then the Believer, which was the episode we're talking about right now, which is Come With Me, Invaders on Their Land, and then Brown Eyes. Brown Eyes, obviously going on with that episode. The ones that haven't been matched up with any episodes, though, which people think means that it's the titles for the finale, are Capture the Flag,
Saving Baby Yoda,
the flag being Grogu, the sword being likely the Darksaber, which if I had to guess would be like a
Darksaber versus Spear, 100% gonna happen.
Spear, possibly Darksaber versus Spear and lightsaber. A friend, which is likely whenever they introduce whoever the Jedi is.
I'm good they didn't give it away.
Yes. Open the Door. We don't have a clue what that means. We talked about it possibly being the World Between Worlds with Ezra, because that's like the only thing that we could think of involving a door. But also,
it could be a metaphorical
towards a door. Yeah,
it could be like opening up the door to the Force or something like that.
It could literally be anything. And then the last one, which is what kind of led us into the theory that me and Colton brought up to you, Joseph. The last one is Rest in Peace.
Horrified yet?
Somebody's
horrified yet? Somebody is dying, guys.
I ain't
Moff Gideon dying.
I ain't watching.
I think Moff Gideon could die, but we kind of talked about it. If Moff Gideon dies, they have to move on to Thrawn being the big bad. And I don't know if they've done enough in the background.
Because we've already established that Ahsoka is definitely getting her own series now.
Yes. And I think that Thrawn will be the big bad for Ahsoka. I don't know if they want Thrawn to be the big bad in Mandalorian.
Here's the thing.
And also, they haven't done enough stuff with Moff Gideon.
So they've confirmed that there are going to be 3 shows set in this timeline. There's going to be this, Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka. And that they will eventually culminate in a massive event.
Yeah. It's going to be like a Flash and Green Arrow.
Here's what makes me nervous. I don't know how you can because we know, I don't know about you guys, but I feel extremely confident we're getting a battle of some sort with Moff Gideon and somebody. I don't feel like I'm out of my
no, I think you're
outlandish for
right.
saying that.
No.
They've already done the whole Moff Gideon's dead, so we'll just keep going about our lives as if he's dead, but he did not die in this battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't see how they can have a battle with Moff Gideon where Moff Gideon loses, which can be assumed to happen.
You could always make the excuse that as he sees he's about to lose, he just runs.
I guess, I don't see how that to me seems like you're going back to the well one too many times. And I
think we are looking at an episode 4, 5, 6 situation with seasons 1, 2, and 3 of The Mandalorian. I don't know if we go beyond 3 with The Mandalorian. I'm thinking season 1 ended on a relatively hopeful note where they took out Moff Gideon, they took out the Imperial remnants in Navarro, and they won the planet back, and they're good now. But there was still this looming threat of Moff Gideon. I think, like the end of Empire Strikes Back, we end on a very low note.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we end on a high note here.
I think they're kind of building Thrawn as their Thanos. I think they're planting the seeds now, and then all these shows are going to culminate to Thrawn.
Okay, I really like Colton's idea here because I definitely think, given Rest in Peace, I don't see them doing a Rest in Peace score for Moff Gideon.
Exactly.
To me, that seems like an honorable thing. You're honoring a Rest in Peace. That's going to be a somber, honorable score.
And the only person who I think it would make sense to apply that for a legend character.
I definitely think we're about to say that. Yeah, I knew it.
I'm going to be pissed though. They just brought him back to kill him.
Yes, but they also did say that won't get his own show.
Yes, that, and I also think that we're getting more Tamara Morrison, regardless of if Boba Fett is in the show, is alive or dead. Yes. We're getting Tamara Morrison in other shows, Bad Batch, other
Commander Cody and stuff.
I don't know.
So that to me means he is expendable. Boba Fett's character is expendable, and that sounds awful because I love the development. But to me, the way they've developed him, which was not the way I anticipated. To me, I anticipated as he was working as Moff Gideon's bounty hunter guy, which we had discussed, which was totally wrong, and we were totally welcome to that change. To me, though, that change has kind of put a timeline like, okay, his days are numbered.
I don't think
me.
And also the rest in peace and the ending on a low note, that would be the perfect low note.
Exactly. And
Mando or of Boba gives up his life in
Totally.
order
to me, it has to be a character who's shown a lot of change and grown a lot into a more like. So to me, we've already talked. See, this is my thing. It has to be that because we've talked about Mayfeld, and what did we say would happen to Mayfeld if he showed up in this next episode?
He's dead.
He'd fucking die. Why did we say that? Because he's become a good person, and what happens to good people? They fucking die.
Well, going with that, what if the friend is Grief Karga?
Could be Grief Karga.
That's what I was gonna say next. Is it's a character that's developed into a good person, they're gonna fucking die. And to me, that makes it Grief Karga, Mayfeld, Boba Fett. Those are the three.
And I think Boba Fett, if they do that, where they pull Mace Windu shows up to teach Grogu, because also I can't imagine that the low note that they do to end the season on is them not saving Grogu. They're not spending the next year without Grogu with Mando. That's just unacceptable. I'll go down to Disney Studios and burn it down myself.
Real man, quit threatening my place.
Second threat. But if they did that and had Mace Windu, had Boba come face to face and be like, all right, we're pushing our differences to the side for the next 30 minutes, and we'll come to head at the end of the episode, and it never happens because he gives up his life for Mace Windu and for Baby Yoda. I think that would be the ultimate twist and gasp moment.
I love that
of the season.
I love that idea, but the thing is that now narratively we are not focused on Din at all. The thing about this last episode is if Boba dies at the end and it's the momentous moment, he has to be the focus of this episode because otherwise they have not developed it enough. I mean, it is he's honor bound and stuff, but he isn't willing to risk his life for the baby yet. You know.
What if Rest in Peace is more of not the way we think of rest in peace, when someone passes away, but it's more of now we can rest in peace, we can sleep at night because Moff Gideon is dead and we have the child back.
Wow,
it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing.
Wow, okay. I still feel like somebody's got to die. I don't feel like we've had enough consequences this season yet. I just don't feel like we've hit that. I feel like there's a threshold. In an 8-episode, 40-minute television show series, I feel like you have to have at least one important character death. We have not had that yet.
You're kind of right. You're kind of right, because Queel, he kind of was shown a badass montage before he died of fixing IG-11 and stuff. Mm-hmm. And now they show a Boba badass fight scene, wherever he got his armor back. And I don't know.
I've changed
lining up
my theories. I think Rest in Peace, they kill Grogu.
No.
And that's just the end of the series. They don't do anything else. Grogu dies. Mando dies. Boba Fett dies. Mace Windu dies. And all are dead.
Are you on some fucking Joseph shit right now?
No. Listen. Everybody dies. No, everybody dies. But guess who wasn't there? Ahsoka, who has access to the world between worlds and can, quote, open the door. Ahsoka.
Yo, no, fuck it. I think we have put. Oh my god! Speaking of the tinfoil fucking hats, Jesus Christ,
Jesus,
we are deep in this motherfucker. Joseph, I meant no disrespect. I'm sorry. I just meant that sometimes your theories are really out there, and that one was way out there.
But hey, if I'm right, if I'm ever right on those out there things, I'm more proud than just saying
oh no, Joseph, absolutely. And I have multiple times told you not to stop. Keep those motherfuckers flowing.
I love it.
Because
it's honestly what creates the most conversation on this podcast is
absolutely. Holy shit, we have been recording for a fat minute. This episode is long.
It's an hour and a half episode,
motherfucker. And I am not mad. I don't know if we've wasted hardly any time. And I say that probably knowing fully that we wasted a fuck ton, but I don't care. I don't care. I have been enjoying myself for this non-stop hour and a half.
We should talk about different Jedis that could come, or none at all. It could be
I feel like we've had this discussion in 3 separate episodes.
I know, but I just want to say
let's lay out the possibilities, though. Let's just talk about it, okay? So, if it is a Jedi that shows up, my top 3 options right now: Luke Skywalker, Mace Windu, Ahsoka Tano.
Not
So-
Cal Kestis at all.
So, Bucky Barnes, Nick Fury, and then whatever Rosario Dawson's character is in Daredevil. That's what
If we get Cal Kestis, that little droid and Baby Yoda are going to be the cutest little friends.
I didn't even think about that. I want a plush toy, or not a plush toy, one of the little little statue thingies of Grogu with the little robot on his back.
Oh, you mean like a Funko Pop?
Yeah, Funko Pop. That's what I was.
Dude, I have so many of those.
Funko
But
Pops are fucking sick.
going along with what Joseph was saying, or not, what Colton was saying about the different Jedi that could show up. One thing that I did that in the list of soundtrack scores and stuff like that. So in the Jedi, which is the one where Ahsoka comes back, one of the things for it was called the Sorcerer. In Star Wars, the extended universe, anytime they talk about a sorcerer, it's always a Sith Lord. So what if the Sorcerer is for this finale, and instead of being a Jedi that he communed with, it was a fucking Sith Lord?
I don't think they
it's
bring
gonna
him.
happen.
Yeah, no.
What if?
Could be insane.
What if me and Colton kind of joked about this? What if just Palpatine just shows up and just starts just cutting people down?
We might get a hologram of some big bad guy. I mean, I think it'd be kind of cool if we saw a Force ghost, even. What if we see Yoda's Force ghost?
I was thinking Force Ghost Yoda, maybe.
That'd be pretty cool.
I don't dismiss that possibility. You know?
If we see Force Ghost Yoda, do we see old Force Ghost Yoda, or do we see younger, more OD'd on ketamine?
Well, in the sequels, it's kind of, I don't know, they changed his look a lot.
Please let it be ketamine Yoda.
I hope.
The thing is that the thing about the Yoda puppet is that they haven't replicated it twice. Even episode 5 to 6 is different.
Yeah.
And then in the prequels, obviously, you got a much more CG'd version of Yoda after they dismissed the ketamine puppet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
No, he still kind of he was still kind of ketamine.
They kind of, the sequels kind of shit the bucket, with that Yoda look.
You think so? I always really loved that scene.
I don't think
Yoda looked great.
No, the scene was cool. The scene was cool itself, but the look of just Yoda, I don't know.
I mean, it was a little off. It was different. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't mind it.
If we see Force Ghost Yoda, is the first thing that he teaches Grogu how to do? Is it just do 1,000 fucking front flips and bounce off every single wall in existence? Is that what he teaches him?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I have my hopes up now. Now I have something to look forward to.
Simply yes.
Can you imagine a Force Ghost training Baby Yoda, or Grogu? Just a montage of. Oh.
See, and that's the thing too, is we don't necessarily know how Force Ghosts work yet either. It's only brushing his teeth.
What the fuck are you doing, Kyler?
Oh shit! You guys can hear that? Fuck. I apologize. You will have to crop that out. I needed some water. I am so sorry.
Cool.
I definitely thought we couldn't hear that. This is what happens when I have a good mic. If I had my PS4 fucking earpiece, we'd be just fine.
No. If you had that, we would just hear.
Shout out my homie Ash Cash. Goddamn.
Yeah. Other options for the friend who shows up: Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
I really want somebody fucking huge, though. I want this shit to feel happy. Because here's the thing, and I'm not going to say that The Mandalorian hasn't done a good job of escalating and making things huge and feeling big, because it's been building quite for a while now.
But also that was the whole point of the show.
Damn, how many times are they gonna fucking tease us and then just have us come up just short of how big our expectations are? I feel like they are just perpetually building us. And I guess we get Ahsoka, so I guess they kind of met those expectations. But goddamn, this is the chance for them to take a finale and just fucking like blow our
Luke
goddamn
Skywalker.
minds.
They're leaving us with some real cinematic blue balls here.
Yeah, and I hope that they don't fucking do it. I hope they let us get our nut off. Like, let us.
There is a possibility we don't get a Jedi tonight.
I don't even want to entertain that. And oh my god, at this point,
I refuse to accept that.
I can't stay awake.
The episode is in an hour.
Yeah, I can't stay awake, so I have to be up at 5 in the morning.
Just stay up all night. What are you talking about?
Dude, I have to go teach middle schoolers. I gotta have some kind of sleep on my stomach. Like, come on now.
Just stay awake all night. Just sleep on the job. They're middle schoolers. Let them do whatever the fuck they want to do.
No, my mom works for this school district. I will be fucked. Yo, oh my god.
Mom, please leave the classroom. I'm hungover.
No, hey, too loud.
Listen. You didn't have to go out and say it.
You didn't have to say it. I mean, you didn't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it.
Exactly.
I mean, you're not wrong. But...
If you don't know who that is, I fucking hate you.
That's Stephen A. You fucking nailed
Never
it, bro.
fucking return to this podcast. I know I got mad at Colton for saying that, but like, nah. If you don't
that's a fair
know
statement.
who that is,
Stephen A. say that. You honestly, are you a human at this point?
Get the fuck out of here if you don't know who that is.
I mean,
get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face with that shit. What? Andrew Glauberman talking to Caleb. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Oh, cue the noise to the max. Cue the noise to the max. We are just so many layers deep in this motherfucker. God damn, the curse word count. If I wasn't going to hell before this episode,
it's becoming more and more evident that we're filming this episode late at night.
Oh my god. We are just...
This is a real late night episode. This is the latest we've ever been recording.
By far.
Yo, oh my god, I wish we could record the episode, the finale, like, together. I wish we could.
God, that'd be so cool. Well, I think we should wrap this one up.
Yes.
Get ready for this finale.
Yes.
Guys, I'm ready.
Yes.
I'm ready.
Please no fucking spoilers, because I will not be saying...
I will not. We'll be talking to each other individually.
Yeah. No, I want you to know, Kyler, as soon as the episode's over, whether or not it happens, I'm sending a message saying that that Grogu died. And you'll have to take it at face value, whether or not it's true. Who can really tell?
I am immediately dismissing it and just hoping for the best. I will not let you. I will be internally panicking, but I will not let you see it. Like, I will let you. I will do whatever acting it takes to make you believe that I am not shook at all. But on the inside, I'm going to be fucking terrified.
Okay, be ready for that. Be ready for that message at 2:40.
Miles, I'm blocking you on Snapchat.
As always, 'twas I, Colton Robertson, and I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, buddy.
Poopy Man always shows out. Thank you.
Poopoo Man and Pee-Pee Boy. Poopoo Man and Pee-Pee Boy. We got Miles Buttress. Thank you, my friend.
Hey, anytime.
Hey, next week even. Maybe the week after. Maybe the week after that. We'll see.
Who knows?
And then on the screen beside me that I can see and you can now, we got KB, Kyler Barnett. Thank you, my friend.
Bless up.
Bless you. As always, this was the Penny Bloom podcast. Peace, love, and bloom. And always praise Keanu Reeves.